I'm Jenni Carlson with Scott Wright. We're in Stillwater, where Oklahoma State, victorious in their season opener, 59-24 over Tulsa. And Scott, this was as an explosive a night offensively as we expected out of the Cowboys. We'd heard all offseason about all the weapons offensively, and it really started early. I mean, we got to see these guys in their full glory really right away.
Yeah, it absolutely did. We got to see Tyron Johnson, the new guy, jump right in and get an early touchdown. James Washington with a couple of big plays of his own. Justice Hill was all over the place early. So the guys that we thought we were going to see big games from, we saw it. Mason Rudolph throws for over 300 yards. They got the running game going, which was crucial. And it was exactly what we thought this offense might be capable of doing on a night like this.
You know, I don't know where to start really when it comes to guys to pinpoint. You mentioned Mason Rudolph finished 20 of 24 for 303, 3 touchdowns. He ran for a 4 score, and 2 of those 4 incompletions hit guys in the hands. So really not too many things you could point to. He had a fumble that almost turned into a touchdown. Mike Gundy saying after the game, listen, he's got to stay in his world. That's not his world. He knows that. But really hard to find any fault with the senior quarterback, kind of what you would expect from a guy who said, I'm coming back to make a run at something great.
Exactly, and maybe even more consistent than he was a year ago. You know, some of the deep balls that might have missed a time or two last year were hitting. I mean, he didn't throw a deep ball that looked bad at all night. So that's going to be one of those things that they're going to rely on a lot. And when he's that sharp, it's just really hard to defend. And then you add in the run game to keep those defenses honest. And this offense is really impressive.
Well, let's talk about that run game for a second. I don't want to shortchange the wide receivers, but we could talk about those guys all night, be here until they turn the lights out. But the running backs, Justice Hill, we saw that built-up body, just impressive vision, impressive strength, speed. But then some guys behind him, we didn't really know what was going to happen with these young running backs backing him up. I think we got some validation. I realize it's Tulsa. This is not a Big 12 opponent, but we got some validation that those guys can play too.
Yeah, absolutely. J.D. King, the true freshman running back, breaks right through the middle, untouched, goes 71 yards for a touchdown on one of the first carries of his career. Very big deal. Mike Gundy says he even surprised him with that breakaway speed. Didn't really know that he had that in the tank, but a really big play from a true freshman in his first game under the lights. L.D. Brown, J-Ron Wilson, guys that we got to see late in the game, kept the ball moving and kept the clock turning to get this game finished up at the end of the night. So all in all, a lot of talent at that running back position like we thought they had, and they showed it out here tonight.
All right, lastly, let's talk about the defense, because that's really the question, and how high can this team ascend? What does this defense do? We saw them with a couple takeaways, but we also saw some third down issues. What were your overall impressions of this defense, Scotty?
Well, that third down conversion rate for Tulsa has to be a big concern for Glenn Spencer, the defensive coordinator. 8 of their 16 third down conversions were of 7 yards or longer. They also had a 3rd and 15 where they gained 14 yards, then converted a short 4th down to keep a drive going. So that has to be a big concern. But overall, it was well into the third quarter before Tulsa surpassed the 200-yard mark. They had the 2-quarterback system, didn't know what Oklahoma State was going to get there to look at. They were able to contain those guys for the most part, except for some quarterback run game on some broke down plays. So, a lot to be excited about, a lot to work on. I think that that's kind of what a lot of if you're Glenn Spencer, I think you probably like that. Nothing that put your team's win in jeopardy. Plenty to work on, plenty to pat your guys on the back about.
Yeah, and some guys that moved around. We saw Ramon Richards in that safety spot for the first time, and he looked very comfortable. Some other guys looked comfortable as well in that defense, but like you say, some areas that they'll definitely be addressing. Let's hear what Cowboy coaches and players had to say after tonight's game.
I thought our guys played good. We have to do a much better job of taking care of the football. Those things frustrate me. In order for us to have the season that we would like to have, we have to take care of the ball, and we essentially gave them 10 points. And those things frustrate me. McCleskey knows better than that. His ball security was absolutely terrible, and that's something that we'll continue to work on. And Mason knows better than to do what he did. When he's scrambling out of the pocket, especially in a 2-minute situation, he's got to throw the ball away. So I was not pleased with that. I was not pleased with the penalties we had offensively. Our guys know that we don't crack back from blocking from the outside in below the waist. I don't know that we've ever done that. And then we had procedure penalties with 2 veteran guys with 60 and 15. Those are things that we have to clean up in order for us to continue to play well. I liked our explosiveness, obviously, when we started the game. We have a lot of guys that can make plays. We've got receivers that can run and catch it, and we got running backs that can run it pretty good, and so, that's not a secret. And I thought our defense played great. We were in the bend mode but not break. We probably gave up a lot of yards, maybe 100 or so late in the game, but for the most part, I thought they played really well, with the exception of 3rd and really long, which is somewhat unusual.
We got in their face a little bit, and they tried to throw deep, and they responded. They had the 1 PI. No, we had 2 PIs. I guess the big thing I was disappointed in, besides obviously the 3rd down and pass rush containment, was we had balls in our hand 2 or 3 times. I mean, we had chances to pick off. We played a great tandem, in and out on a quick throw, bounced off our hand. Just had some chances to get picks, and our guys, guys dropped the ball. So you do that early, and you could really have, got more separation than what we did.
You can obviously see the good from tonight, but as coaches, we're always going to try to get better. So regardless of outcome, we're always going to try to correct the mistakes and get better. By no means do we play a perfect game. We're going to chase that perfect game and can't turn the ball over. Just minor things that actually turn into big things, and we have to make sure that we get better every day. So yeah, I don't think you could sit here and gloat about anything. You got to learn how to improve, and that's the process, and that's what it's all about.
I think they're a good team. They're coached really well. Got a good coach that was here a while back. Coach speaks highly of him. So we knew we had a good game plan going in. They brought a lot of pressures at different stuff they do. That was good, and I think we combated it well. Our guys up top were, we made some good checks and whatnot, and so, but scoring early, scoring often, that's kind of something we hadn't done, I guess, in the past as well. We would kind of sputter in the first quarter and then end up scoring maybe in the second quarter and then coming out in the second half. So I was happy with it. We jumped on them quick. So I don't think it could have started any better, but I guess be more, there's always going to be mistakes, so we'll look at the film and I'll get back to you later.
Yeah, we talked about it. We was like, man, we can't take any team lightly, because we have goals this year, Big 12 championship, playoffs, national championship, and if we're going to do that, we have to, set the tone, and we can't just play around with teams. We got to put them away quick. So, but I feel like from the offensive lineman to Jay Hill to Mason to all the receivers and the defense, man, we played. We made some mistakes, but we played well.
We pride ourselves on scoring on defense, so we take that and roll into every game. I think last year we was ranked something with top turnovers or something like that. So we take pride in that, and that's what we feed on defense. Just a frenzy to the ball. Everybody get to the ball. As long as 10 people around the ball, 11 people, somebody it's gonna come out. Somebody gonna pick it up.
Yeah, sometimes you can catch me in the corner, practicing my touchdown dance. Everybody before the game. Everybody on the team, what's your first touchdown dance? I'm like, I don't know. What's your first touchdown dance? So I had to start practicing because I can't let them down.
Did you let them down?
Yeah, I did. I think I couldn't dance. I was too excited to be in the end zone. I just wanted to run and celebrate with the team.
And now the Cowboys look ahead to a Friday night game, another non-Saturday game, Scott. This one at South Alabama, a young program down in Mobile. It's going to be interesting to see some guys that are young in positions head on the road for a game that the Cowboys will be probably heavily favored in, but is going to be interesting, one of those mid-majors that could be tricky.
Yeah, and on a weeknight, always a weird atmosphere. First road trip for some of these guys, first road trip of the year for everybody. So there's always some weirdness around all of that stuff. Like you said, it's a strange situation going in there playing on a Friday night. So, but it should be a game that they shouldn't have any trouble with. It'll just help them for the next week when they've got to go to Pittsburgh. That'll be a little bit tougher opponent.
All right, that Friday night game against South Alabama, that's a 7 o'clock kick on Friday. We'll have lots of coverage in the lead-up, so be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at NewsOK.com every day in the Oklahoma.